Thank you, and welcome back to another episode of Cut the Film. I'm your host, Josh, and on my left, I got my main host two with the most.
What's going on, guys?
How
What's
you doing,
happening?
Adam?
I'm good, man. How are you? How you
Good,
doing?
good, man. Just chilling, just enjoying the rest of the night, enjoying the
Mm-hmm.
chilly weather that we're getting. No more heat.
About damn time.
I know. How about you? How's your day?
Good, man. Just living life,
Living life.
doing this podcast. So let's get this started, huh?
Yeah. We're gonna start you guys off with some sad news. Last week we, lost one of the most iconic childhood loved characters, Robbie Coltrane, also known as Hagrid from Harry
You're
Potter.
a wizard,
You
Harry.
know, died at 72.
Yeah, that's relatively young age. You know, I feel like it's not too. I mean, it's not young, obviously, but it's
No,
more. It's earlier than
it's
I
always
would.
that. I mean, it's always like
Like,
they get taken too
yeah,
soon.
72 is
I mean,
pretty. Like, I think 10 years than when you should die. I feel like 80s people usually.
that's around. I believe that's around a good age. I don't want to pass it more than 80.
Yeah, I don't mean neither. I'm not trying to.
Like I'm just trying to chill at 70.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was he I don't know, now that he has passed, like I feel like that character is just gonna grow more as it is
Oh,
now.
for sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure their streaming went way up over the weekend when they found
Oh
out the news.
yeah. I
I
mean, I
mean,
think I caught I think it was on TV. Goblet of
like
Fire
he's like the first character to introduce you to
to
like
Harry.
to the world of magic,
Yeah.
and like I think he's just like iconic looking character. I think
Just
you know
overall like the very
he was
lovable
he
character.
was
He's
really
always
well.
there to
Yeah,
help, always cared
he was really
for.
well in the books, and you know he was played fantastically.
No, he
He was
was. He did a great
yeah.
job. And then 7 movies.
7 movies, man. It's a long time.
Um, but his memory will live on through those movies. Like you said, they're the ones that are gonna be watched more right now. I mean,
Isn't it
those
eight movies? Because they turned it
oh
to a
eight,
part
yeah,
two.
two parts, yeah. Never mind, take it back on that. Other people who aren't in the whole Harry Potter universe, and they might know him from 007. He came out in Goldeneye.
Did he really?
He came out in that one, and he came out in Time Is Not Enough. I believe that's what it was called.
What was he?
His name was Valentine. I don't. I
Ooh,
think like maybe like a bodyguard.
nice. I don't know.
Yeah, he he
I've never
was
been
he
a
was he was
Double O
in that.
Seven fan, so couldn't
I
tell
mean, I
you.
watched the movies, but I was never like, who's that actor? Who's that
Yeah,
actor?
okay.
Not until like later watching the movies we watch now, I'm just like, all right. But then again, you see their names everywhere now.
True that.
But yeah, rest in peace, Robbie. Sending prayers and love to your family. But keeping it up in the lighter topics now. Hocus Pocus, yeah, another Disney movie that has recently came out. The Sanderson sisters are back,
Yes, they
trying to
are. They
wreak
came back.
havoc on Salem. Did you watch that movie?
I saw it. I did. I actually liked it. I like that they didn't steer to. I mean, the source materials they stay close to it, and they didn't also rely on the previous movie to tell their story.
True, true. Yeah, I mean they gave like a little glance of the
Mm-hmm.
past throughout the movies. Just I know a lot of people were saying that they wanted the original characters to come back,
Yeah,
but
but I think they did a good job keeping it a standalone. Like you don't really have to watch the one in the first one
to really
to really
understand what it
understand. Like
is.
if you're like just walking in, seeing someone's watch this movie, you don't have to
Yeah,
know anything prior to that.
yeah. I think it's just like the whole factor of like the comedy in it is just them being in the era that we're in, which
Yeah, I
is
mean there
2012.
was
So like that little
that
Walgreens
was that was
scene.
funny with her vacuum and she's using like
Oh, the little the
the
little
dust to
hover
collect.
dusters.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny. That was I thought that was a clever addition. Made it funny.
Yeah, no, they did a good job, and all three women portrayed the sisters greatly.
Yeah, man,
Again,
and
they did
the
their part.
actress, the one that plays the older sister, I'm telling you,
Bette Midler,
she has aged.
Winifred,
She aged
or
gracefully. She's looking good. All
yeah,
of them are look
oh
fine.
yeah,
They all look
they
really
still
good
look the
still.
same like as you were
Yeah,
watching the
like as soon as
first
I was like,
one.
oh shit, like they just stepped right out of the movie.
Yeah, I mean they did have a little few changes. They added more magic in there. Where now,
Yeah,
the
there's
characters in there. This whole storyline of it is just, two girls playing with. One of the girls' birthday gets gifted a candle, which
mhm.
she did not know that the candle was the same candle that wakes them.
So yeah, these two girls, they do witchcraft every Halloween. It's like a ritual,
It's like a traditional
and then
birthday,
classic Disney shenanigans happen, and they end up,
classical Disney shenanigans.
she ends up getting the black candle,
Yeah,
and she accidentally summons them, which they got summoned like last time too.
yeah, and then this one it was just like her Winifred wanting revenge on, she
Mhm.
found out that the person that executed them, that wanted them executed, was still alive.
The
That
bloodline, yeah.
tradition, that bloodline.
So she
So
wanted, she needed to kill her, right? Or like stop end the bloodline for the curse to be lifted or something.
yeah, so yeah, she was trying to go for the mayor, which was the dad, and then, well, I mean, we don't want to give everything away, but overall, they did a great. Like you said, they didn't go the same route that was the first one, where they have like you kind of expect it to be like that.
I mean,
So
there
once,
were some jokes that were kind of played on the previous movies, which I think sometimes it's okay to kind of reuse a joke
yeah,
in
of
sequels.
course, it's
Sometimes they hit and they hit well, then other
yeah.
times they it's
Well,
like
that's when it's just like they have
yeah.
iconic lines in the movie, and this one was a very good movie, especially for towards Halloween. Always playing on Disney
Yeah, it's a
Channel.
good movie. It's a good movie for the family. If you don't think the witch stuff is too graphic for some children, maybe it might be. Like it does involve black magic and witches, so it could be
I
scary
know,
for.
but it's still the tradition of Halloween, and
But it's
it's
still tradition. It's
Disney.
still a good Disney movie. It's
It's
fun. It's funny. There are some funny moments. It's yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't
I enjoyed it too.
I
Yeah,
thought I had low expectations and I actually came out
I was
pretty
already
happy.
like, okay, like I liked the first one, and I'm like, all right. I saw the trailer and I kind of debated it, but I was like, I'm still gonna watch it. Ended up watching it. I was like, okay, and it came out to be
Yeah,
a good one. They
that's a classic movie. I remember watching this movie growing up. All me and my cousins and my sister, my girl cousins, were all sitting around the TV because I grew up with a lot of girls, and we would sit around the TV and watch Hocus Pocus. We'd watch it all the time. I mean, I liked it too. It was like, yeah, put it on again.
it always caught the attention. The little freaking dancing scene,
Yeah, the
when they.
dancing scene was fun. I liked how they add the new addition they added to this one. The song was pretty good.
Oh, okay, yeah, they did a
Um,
whole little musical part as well too.
yeah, that was fine. I always enjoy a good
Yeah,
musical.
they have to keep it. Yeah, it was based the same, just a little bit different now, just to attract the generation now. But overall, it was a good movie. If you guys get a chance, it's still on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Check it out. I enjoyed it. Dim the lights, put on some cool orange Halloween themed stuff, and yeah, dig in.
Yeah, especially for like family fun. But now we're gonna be moving to a little bit of the darker type of movies. Nothing that is gonna be played on Disney Plus.
Ooh,
Um,
why'd you
you
sound so
know,
seductive when you said
I
that?
do not know.
Who you think you're talking
maybe,
to here,
maybe,
guy?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just really into these kind of movies. But we're gonna be talking about psychological horror movies.
Nice.
One
Okay.
of like a lot of the greatest ones that we've known are The Shining. The Zodiac,
Yeah, yeah.
Black Swan. Those are movies that are meant to not like really scare you, but kind of just like mess with your mind, like manipulate you in some sort of way, where
Mm.
those movies focus on what mental issues are. So just bringing that little cringiness of it to make it more of like well, like they say, psychological, more of a mind game.
Yeah, yeah.
Those movies, I don't know, I really like them. They're really enjoyable.
What would you say is the one? What would you be your choice?
For like favorite one,
Yeah,
or just
something you
overall?
can sit down, even though you already know like the twist or whatever. What would you say when you watch it? You say like, damn, that's still such a good. Like you can watch it over and over.
I have a couple. Right now, the one that I recently did like, and I kind of watched it more than a couple of times, was No. Like, how like the whole monkey scene,
Oh,
like,
nope. Yeah,
yeah.
okay. I was like, no. I was like, huh? Yeah, that monkey scene
Yeah,
was
yeah,
crazy. I mean,
like,
it was out of nowhere too. I didn't expect to
yeah.
see that in an alien
Right
movie.
now, another movie I did watch, and we'll probably talk about it in another episode, was Smile. It had a lot of horror aspects, but it also had that whole psychological, like,
Yeah.
where she's just going crazy. So just seeing that darkness inside her and how she just starts transforming is just, or just changing overall. Like, I don't know, those movies have a little bit more story sometimes, just because it
It,
has to dig in deeper to the person's actual like life.
okay. Well, I haven't seen the movie yet. I've heard good things, but the next episode I'll catch it next week and
Yeah.
we'll talk about it.
What about you? Which ones do you remember watching that you
Psych-
enjoyed?
Psychological stuff. I don't know. I can't. I
Like
can't.
Final Destination, just kind of like,
That wasn't really
oh,
psychological.
no,
That
it's
was
not,
more like
but it's still like,
I mean, yeah, it
for
fucked with you like
it messes with the
it
mind a
messed with
little
your mind
bit.
just the way like, oh man, maybe you could die like that. But it wasn't
Yeah.
like a crazy like, whoa, that's crazy. I don't know. I can't think of any right now.
I
I mean,
mean,
okay, The Shining's a classic.
The Shining is a
It's
classic
like a
for
super. That's like
sure.
more supernatural stuff,
Well,
psychological. Because I
yeah,
mean, I guess supernatural is always it's all psychological.
especially, yeah, that's very true.
So I mean, if you believe it, you think it's gonna happen more often. But I would say like okay, like a psychological, like a slow
Let's
burn movie
see.
would be the movie The Witch. Have you seen it?
The Witch, yeah,
That movie
that one
is
was good.
fantastic. Like it does. There's not a lot. There's really like nothing. Like there's no monsters that pop out or
No,
stuff.
it
It's
doesn't.
just the idea that
Just the
it's
mental
it's
thing.
out there. You know something's out there the entire time in the movie. Like every time, like they're alone or they go to sleep. You're like, oh, what's gonna happen this time in the morning? You know something's gonna happen, and it never shows what's.
It
It
never
shows
does.
glimpses like there's like cause
Like
like
you
a
get to see the witch
you get
and
to see
like
there's some
mid
things you see
movie,
you're like, oh,
yeah.
that's creepy, but it's just the aspect of just them being alone
It's kind of like a
and
go.
then the long silence of the
Yeah,
night show.
it's
That
kind of
was
like the little exorcism, but in just like a Amish type of village, you
mm-hmm.
know, where
Yep.
like there's just something lurking inside the woods that it's no one dares to walk
Yeah,
into
you know
because
it's
they never come back out.
yeah that movie's
Anna, her name Anna Taylor Johnson, I
I think
believe
that
her
was
name.
her.
She did a great
She did a
job in
great
that
job. I
movie.
mean, and you feel bad for the family because
It's more like towards like her. The mom is just
yeah, you feel
so,
bad for her. The dad especially because he's trying his best to
yeah,
they just came over from Britain to start a new life. They're like they're
the new
pretty
people.
much
Yeah,
basically
they just wanted
pilgrims
to work hard.
and super religious back in those days, and then they just they just happen to live near a witch just COVID, and there's a witch in the woods and shit. It's like
Little Hansel and Gretel
hmm
ish to
and that's
me.
what I like about those movies that have to deal with that kind of stuff, like where it's not like in your face horror. It's just like the way the story is told,
Yes.
and it makes you believe like
Yeah.
this is not
Because
cool what's going
it
on.
like literally grasps you
Yeah,
into the
it's like
storyline as
there's like a when makes you feel like a sense of dread every
yeah,
time something you like fuck you feel
yeah.
bad.
Because
Like there's that those are good movies. There's a couple movies where I watched and I'm like, oh.
I think that's where these movies kind of differentiate from horror movies. Where horror movies, they're more based off on like jump scares, where
Mm-hmm.
they always play that loud song before something's gonna happen. So you're almost kind of already
Mm-hmm.
expecting it. As for these movies, you don't, because you're just like wanting to know that something's gonna happen, and then it'll just cut scene and go to something else, and then you're like, all right. And then starting off from the next scene towards the next build up, you're
Yeah,
just
yeah, you
like,
already expect this.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're already like, okay, maybe not this time, but this time it's coming. And then at the end, it's not the plot
I
twist
mean
that you might be expecting, but
that's
it's still
always what a
something
good
that's like,
horror
oh
movie
shoot,
is
like
when it hits you when you're not like when there's
when you're not
no
expecting it.
expectation. You're like,
Yeah.
whoa. Yeah, I can't think of a movie right now that's maybe do that.
Would you
There's a
consider
few.
Midsummer
Midsummer would be
one
psychological. Oh fuck
more
yeah.
more cultish?
It's
More
a psychological horror just because of
just
the
the
trauma.
tradition of the yeah.
It's really a tragic story here.
Oh yeah, the mom, the yeah,
Her
her
sister,
story, yeah.
commits suicide, and she kills the family as well, and her mom and dad as well. With she emits the well, I'm telling the movie, but
I mean
it's been out for a while.
that movie's been
She
out,
emits the
yeah.
fumes in the house,
Just
and
knocked
yeah, the
out.
parents are sleeping, so all the the fumes go inside the house,
Yeah.
and then they die, and then just what she goes through, what's the puke? What's her name again?
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh. She's
She's an
amazing in
amazing
that movie,
actress.
and
Yeah.
she just you can see the trauma she's gone through, and
Oh,
then every
scene.
scene, and then she just like how the depression and her sadness like is every scene she's like that. She just like this is a hurt.
Yeah.
She's
She played that role very
yeah,
great.
she was really done. And then just the fact that what they had, like I said,
The
it's not an
mental,
in your face scary movie. It's just
yeah,
the imagery, the
yeah,
darkness, the music, the
yeah.
atmosphere that they build here. It just
Sometimes
creeps
those
you
are the
out.
ones
Yeah,
that
just
get
like
you the best.
yeah,
Yeah,
those are the best. I
yeah.
think those are the best kind of scares. I know that some people
Those are
like
more
jump scare
sad.
movies, but I like because those will leave you like feeling weird
Yeah,
after you watch
yeah.
it.
I think yeah,
It
that's
makes you
very
feel
true. It's
ugly.
cringy.
Like ugh.
I was like, what did I just watch? How am I
Yeah,
gonna?
exactly. Like what the fuck did I just watch right
I
now?
know. It's like you're gonna turn off the TV. You're just gonna be like, wait, I can't even
Like yeah,
sleep.
when it lingers, when
Your
you're
head's
still
already.
thinking about it, when you're walking away and you're already in midday, you're like, damn, that was a
But
crazy
you know
movie.
what?
That's how you know it's a like.
Yeah, but you
That's
know
how you
what?
know a good horror
Sometimes
movie.
it does make a good dream.
Uh, Nightmares.
Yeah, nightmares are fun sometimes. I know another big popular one, Hereditary.
Yes, that one. That one's a. That was also like a slow burn. I don't think it's one. That's. I guess it
Same,
is
same
psychological kind.
director as
I guess all
well.
horror movies are psychological. I guess because it makes you
It just
believe what's
makes
going on. But no,
yeah.
another good movie that makes you like think like what the fuck like mid movie like what the fuck is who am I
Yeah.
watching? Yeah, that's a good one. That one just it has to do with the devil and like cults and stuff. And I love those kind of movies.
Yeah.
I feel like because those are more human. Like those are kind of not human, but like when deals with cults, you're dealing
It's cool.
like a
It's
human nature
it's kind of
behind it.
still kind of portrays into like the dark magic of
Yeah, well, the
like
dark.
bringing
I think cults show
more bringing
movies like that show like the
Satanism,
darkness of
bringing
people. You know,
Satanism
yeah.
in, like yeah, when it comes
And
to
that's I guess
sacrificing
especially if you're
kids,
super
killing
religious, then the
people.
movies like this would be absolutely terrifying.
And then it
But
just makes you think of like, do you, I mean, there are stories that things like that do go around and are happening around this time. They're just very secretive.
well, I
It's
mean, I
just
don't know,
like,
but yeah, that movie. I think one of my favorite scenes is it's just the way like how they built up the shock factor without like making it too loud or like it was just I like how like one of the scariest scenes is when she the son is sleeping in the room and then it's dead silent and all of a sudden you just see the body run
oh
across the wall
yeah,
and it's like this too and then you're like whoa
instantly,
whoa
it just gets you out of
it just
nowhere.
goes so fast you're like what the hell was that
Yeah,
and it didn't like make a noise it was just complete silence
yeah,
but the fact that you just thought go real quick you're like
yeah.
oh fuck
It's just a whole
I think the silence
being
made it build up
yes,
the silence of
because
itself
you're
was
just already
you're like all right
expecting.
it's
Yeah.
nighttime boom and you're like oh shit what the hell
It's the surprise. It's the surprise effect that
yeah, the
always ends
silence. I
up
think the
getting
silence
you.
really built the tension in the scene because
Because you're just already
because
crazy. You're
everyone knows in
already.
a scary movie, anytime it's night, like a horror movie, anytime it's night, some shit's about to go down. You
Oh
know,
yeah, of course.
some shit's
But
about
that
to go
movie
down.
was that movie was amazing for that. I mean, there's been a couple more. Would you say Saw?
Nah, it's more like
Just because it's
it's
just
more, it's
more.
more. I don't know,
Let's see.
horror
Let's see
gore,
what Google tells us on some Sixth Sense.
gory horror movies. Sixth Sense, that would
Sixth
be one.
Sense was a good one.
It's a good ghost story.
It is.
I think it's like one of the best twist endings ever
And
in cinematic history. One of the best.
well, yeah,
That
because you're
twist
just
ending,
expecting it. Yeah,
the end of the movie, when we thought it was Bruce Willis,
he's
or
just
when he realizes Bruce Willis is actually
is
a
a
ghost, or
ghost.
when we realize he's a ghost, we're like, what the fuck?
That's
That blew my mind. I was like, oh shit, it was so well told. You know, you
it
really love.
was. It kept you on going. You know,
Mhm.
it's just the storyline of it building up to something that's just
Mhm. And everyone loves a good ghost story. So.
yeah. And then especially when sometimes we all do have different minds, so we all think differently. You know, so sometimes those movies, like depending on that mindset that you're in,
Just scary to
always
look
like
at.
changes your too. You know, like if you're just in a bad one, you're like looking at it, you're like, oh, fuck. Like sometimes you do trip out. You know. But I enjoy those kind of movies a lot. Let's see what other ones they tell us here. They tell us Get Out, Us.
Get Out was cool.
Get Out was
That's okay. I
great.
guess that would be a good psychological horror or thriller because, I mean, there's like literally zero. There's nothing supernatural about the movie.
It's just
It's hypnosis, which I
yeah,
mean, some believe it, some don't. It's just a movie about hypnosis and all that deep mind shit.
yeah. See that, and that's where it's just like movies like that. Cause I mean, those are things that intrigue me as well. So when they interpret those into movies, like it just makes me enjoy the movie much more. Cause it
Mm.
just I don't know. I like being open minded to like I know it's probably never gonna happen or it can, but it's just like thinking of like my mind starts. Oh, maybe that could happen or this could happen or what would happen and all that. So I don't know. I enjoy those movies.
No, yeah, they're good, man.
What else do we got here? Doctor Sleep. We got that was the remake. Well, not remake, but it was kind of like just the closing story to The Shining. I don't know if you got to watch that with
Yeah,
Ian
dude, Shining.
McGregor.
Shining was one of my favorite books. I think I read it when I was like 13. This is when I started getting into. I used to read a bunch of horror
Yeah,
novels when I was like 13, 14, 15. Stephen King,
yeah.
Dean Koontz,
Dean
all those
Koon.
guys.
Oh, Dean Koontz is good. His
Yeah, I
books
used to
were.
read just
Which
all
was
day. I used to love those kind of books.
there was one of him where I guess he goes blind as a kid and he uses like his sixth sense kind of to like
Oh yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking
to
about.
find the dad's killer. Kind of like kind of daredevilish kind
Yeah,
of.
but yeah, going back to the Shining, I thought you know Stanley Kubrick did a good job with that movie.
Oh,
It really,
very
it
very
really, it
well.
really gives you the aspect of how isolated and alone they really are.
Especially a house that big with so many
Yeah,
rooms,
and
like just the emptiness of it.
like
Just
I think I like the the outside shots of like the overlook you can see, and you can see how truly
yeah,
isolated they are, and
yeah.
it's just
Like you said,
it's kind of scary. That's
it
only and then you can see the fact that Jack Nicholson's character
just how
is
he
just
just goes
descends
crazy.
starts slowly descending into madness.
Damn. No, overall, yeah. Stephen King for that one. The book was really good. I think I do have it on my bookshelf too, right
Hmm.
there. I've been wanting to catch up on reading that. I'm reading another one, but
Yeah,
Halloween. I mean, horror books. There were a lot of things
yeah.
that I
Goosebumps
enjoyed.
was shit.
Oh, Goosebumps. Yeah, Goosebumps were
Goosebumps,
always great. And then they would just come out with the show,
dude. That show had it used to scare me. It used to scare the shit out of me and my sister, but we would always watch it all the time. We'd wait till it turned nighttime and like we record it.
and it would
And
always
like,
happen. Yeah, they would always have the episodes that night.
yeah.
What would you say one of those is your favorite episode, or the one
Oh,
that you remember?
the fuck, the Night of the Living Dummy, bro. I think that was probably my first.
That was the first time.
I think that was probably my first horror experience ever. Like to watch something on TV and be
Yeah.
genuinely terrified. And if those of you don't know, most of you should know this. The Night of the Living Dummy is there's a dummy named Slappy, and
Slappy.
he comes alive and he's a little shit. Yeah, like he's evil. He's always trying to hurt the family, constantly just doing shit to like really badly hurt his family. And then that first scene when you see him when he moves his head open, I
Oh,
was like,
just like slowly with those little cringy eyes. I've always hated those type of dolls.
yeah, those dummies. And
I,
he's an
do
ugly
I
doll,
do
man.
believe those dolls could get cursed and be brought to life with some type of voodoo on that.
Yeah.
I've had an
Well,
experience like that with the porcelain doll ones. Oh my god,
porcelain doll.
never again. If I ever have a daughter and she has a quince, I'll be like,
Dude,
oh
my
my
grandma
god.
used to have a bunch of dolls everywhere in her room. I used to be scared of that shit.
Yeah, dude,
I hated
that
walking.
should
Mijo, go
turn.
give me my purse. Oh fuck!
Yeah,
Don't want to go in
no,
there.
it's just a quick little story of it. Like my friend had one in her room, and we saw it. And to me, it just kind of looked weird. Like had a weird vibe in her room, and we ended up going down. And before we left to go get food, she's like, "Can you go up and get my purse?" So I go up, dude. Shit you not, that doll's head. It was facing the wall when I came in. It was facing the door. I did not want to go
You
into
fucking
that
ran
room.
out the
I
room like,
freaking ran,
oh
grabbed the
fuck.
freaking purse, and booked it. I'm like, I'm never coming to your house again. She was like, why? I was like, dude, your fucking doll moved.
That is
She's
creepy.
like, no, you didn't. I'm like, I don't know. It happened to me, but uh, dolls, dummies, anything
See,
like
I've
that, it
never.
always creeps me out.
I think for me, I mean, I don't know what it could have been, but I'm not a firm believer in this either. But anyways, we had just moved into my house when we remodeled it,
Yeah,
right? And it was just me and my mom, and we had like a mattress on the floor, just my mattress, her mattress, and we are moving everything else in the next day. But it was me and her just happened to be here because we lived in Riverside
yeah,
during the
okay.
time it was being rebuilt. So my rest of my family's over there. So we just like, all right, let's go stay at the night at the house because we got to be up early to bring the stuff in, right? So we're sleeping. There's literally nothing in that house. Like there's nothing in the showers. There's nothing in the rooms. There's literally just our mattresses and the blanket, and that's it. That's
That's
the
it.
only things we
Everything
brought
else
in.
is just empty.
Yeah, everything else is empty. And then all of a sudden, we're sleeping and we hear a big boom, like something hit our
Something just,
glass.
yeah.
We're like, what the fuck? And it came from inside the house, and I jumped out. I was like, what the hell? And then I hear my mom's door open, and she's like, you okay? I was like, I didn't do anything. She's like, what was that? I'm like, I don't know. So I opened the door and I went to the shower, and I was like, it sounded like it came from here. Like it
Yeah.
sounded like something like literally just went
Just someone
boom,
just smashed it.
like
Yeah.
smacked the
Smacked the
window.
glass.
And I was like, what the fuck? And I was looking around. There's
Nothing.
nothing like nothing for me to move. It was like it was an empty bathroom, and to this day, like okay, that's probably the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me.
Okay, but
And
that,
it
but
and the fact that both me and my mom heard it. If it
yeah,
was just me, it's like maybe I'm tripping.
yeah,
But
but
she
you guys
woke up
both,
too, so I
yeah,
was like,
it was just the
she
loudness that
it was
startled both
it
of you,
started
you
both,
know?
and it came from inside the house. It like it sounded like she's
Uh,
like it's not. She even said it sounded like it came from the bathroom. I was like, yeah, it
yeah.
did sound like that.
Did was it that just that night
It
that it
was just
happened?
that night that happened, and then after that, just
Nothing else.
nothing else. It
Huh.
was very strange thing that happened.
Did that like spark your interest in like maybe
It made
maybe
me
I
okay.
need to
That's when I was
experience
like,
it. Maybe
okay,
I need to experience it
maybe I
one more
want to see
time
what
in a different
if I can
way.
yeah experience it because I'm pretty because there's as of now there's nothing that can explain what made that noise in there.
Yeah,
So,
that's always
but I'm
like
still like okay, that was kind of one that made me swear like maybe there is some shit going on out here we don't know about. But I don't know. I'm still kind of
I'm not
skeptical.
alone. You're gonna come
Yeah.
to me after the episode. You're gonna be like, I see
Yeah.
that. But going back to, if you said goosebumps, that's gonna be brought to our next topic, or which we're gonna be in, you know, the horror movies that we enjoyed watching as children, or like you said, well, your one of your first experiences with horror was that episode
Yeah.
of the dumb,
Goosebumps.
yeah,
Yeah.
of Goosebumps. But was there a movie that like you remember was the first one, or the one that
Oh,
you
dude,
enjoyed,
this is
always
the next
enjoyed
one.
one?
It's fucking Chucky, bro.
Chucky.
I think that
Okay.
was the first movie that I saw. Like I remember, it's funny. I was my dad and his friends. I guess he was they were getting drunk and they were like they
Rent
went
the
to
Chucky.
the video store
Yeah.
and they rented me and my brother a video game to keep us busy while they watched this scary movie, right? And then so there was like my dad and like three of his friends. They're all drinking, having a good time, right? He's like, "You better not come out. Don't come in this room. We're watching scary movies in here. Unless you want to be scared, then come. You can sit and watch with us." And my brother's like, "Oh, we're not gonna. Hell no, we're not gonna watch scary movie."
Yeah.
He's like, "What movie is it?" Chucky. We're like, "Oh hell no." So I hadn't seen it because my all my like I was hearing about how scary it was,
Yeah.
and then me and my brother playing video games, and then he's like, "You want to go see what they're watching?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah.
And then he went because there's like a divider for some reason. Or we were here, and then there's a divider here, and then
Uh-huh.
you go behind the divider, and it leads to my dad's room.
Okay.
And I don't know, it was a weird setup, like a little like a middle thing in like a hallway. And so I didn't realize he went the other way. He went on one side of the on the other side, and like we were gonna go scare them, and like we wanted like what kind of watch what was going on
Yeah.
too, and then we were too busy looking at the TV at the screen, and we bumped each other and we scared each other.
Oh
So weird,
god.
like trying to like be scary, and then we
Yeah.
scared each
Each
other.
other. Oh my god. That's always like the best part right
That
there.
was
Oh my god.
that was so funny,
That's
right? Everyone, and then but it's funny because they even saw us like they can see us like walking around the corner, man. They were like looking at us. My dad was like, "Yeah, what the hell are they doing?" And then they saw us bump into each other. They all started laughing at us.
They're trying to scare you, but that
Yeah.
did not work at all. So okay, so you say Chucky would be one of the first.
First horror
Would you say
films?
one of your favorite childhood ones too?
No. Well, that I could watch. No, I didn't want to watch that movie. I watched it once, and I didn't. I saw it maybe like two or three other times
Yeah.
after
Were
or
you
seen it.
were you a horror like fanatic when you were little?
No, I didn't start getting into it until I was a teenager.
So you were a teenager?
Yeah, I was a little bitch when I was a kid. I couldn't watch those movies to save the life. What the hell?
I mean there were some moments too that I remember in my childhood where I'm just like we're all watching a movie and my dad has a surround sound system. So it's all dark, everyone's there, like sometimes I have cousins over.
Mm.
And there were moments and times where like I kind of just got a little too scared that I'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the restroom." Go to the restroom, come out, go play
Okay,
PlayStation.
you come
My
back.
cousin comes back like 15 minutes. Is like, bro, what the fuck happened? I'm just
You
like,
got
fuck
peace
that.
pussy.
I'm
You
like,
don't have to watch it
I ain't
anymore.
come and watch that shit. That shit's too. And I'm watching it now. I'm like, oh well, what was I scared of? But
It's fun. You're a kid.
overall, I mean, my first experience with the horror movie, my dad took me to go watch. They ended up kind of like remastering it and bringing it up, but it was The Exorcist. So
Oh
that
yeah,
one was
that
my
was
first
scary
introduction. I
too.
had to sit in a big ass
I didn't
theater
watch that
as a
movie
little kid.
surprisingly until later, until I was maybe like 11 or maybe like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
I didn't end up like even hearing about that movie till like that, which is pretty because it came out in the '70s. So it's like I was like, what is this movie? And that's when I guess I was too into like all the new scary movies. I
Yeah.
had never heard about The Exorcist. Like I heard about Chucky. I heard about all these. Yeah, I don't know. Like I saw it pretty late.
Yeah. So that so like what piqued your interest again to get into
Yeah,
watching
I
those
think that's
scary
probably
movies?
after watching that one. Then that's when I
Yeah.
transitioned to a teenager. I was like, okay, I like scary movies.
No, after watching that, everything that, well, my dad would always, like, I'll rent out the movies that I want, and then he'll rent out the ones he want, and then we'll watch both, you know. So I did get to enjoy a lot of scary movies with them growing up. You know, Nightmare on Elm Street was another one. That one did spook me as a little kid. I did not want to go to sleep.
Mm.
I was just like,
Yeah,
oh, it's gonna
it's a
get
good
me.
the song too.
But the funny story with, because I
One,
know you
two,
said.
three, coming for you.
No, but going back to Chucky, I know you said you had a story. I kind of have a story with Chucky too. Well, there's it's two of them, but when I was little, me and my cousin were watching it, and my older cousin had a Chucky doll. So me and my cousin were like watching it, like TV right in front, and then she ends up just grabbing them and putting them like next to us and back. So when we were just kind of like finishing watching the movie and we kind of just turned to get up and we watched them, we ended up just jumping. Oh my god, my cousin ended up running up into a wall.
That's
He was running.
that's
She
funny.
played a couple of jokes on us because she did the Exorcist thing too, where she just like turns her back and she
Oh
walks
yeah,
like that. We were watching that and she comes down the stairs doing that. I'm like,
that's fucking funny.
yeah.
That's
Damn,
hilarious.
childhood with horror stuff. It was always funny. But another one with that was my dad. My parents went to go watch Chucky in theaters, and they got scared. And I guess I had a Barney doll when I was little, and I guess I threw it under the bed towards the center. So they're just like midnight, like 2:30 in the morning. I guess my dad turns, then right in the center, he squishes him,
He's
and
like,
all
oh
you
fuck.
yeah, and then since if you like squeeze him, he sings along. He starts singing, so
That
they're
would
both
scare me
laying
too.
down, and then he's just like
You
all he heard was "I love." He said he ran out of the room, and so he went back inside, turned on the light, and looked under. And he grabbed that freaking toy and probably threw it in the
That's
trash because I
funny.
don't remember seeing Barney ever again. He was like, "Your fucking toy scared the hell out of me." I was like, "Oh my god!"
That's
But I
funny.
mean, I think I like that aspect of getting surprised, of the little adrenaline rush
I
of what
like
it
getting
is
scared. I
to.
love being scared. It's obviously it's fun being scared when it's it's tamed, but like being scared in an actual real life situation is a completely different scared of than sitting down and watching the TV.
True, very true, and
Two different
it
kinds
just
of
depends
scared.
on the settings. Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta fear the real life too.
Anyways,
But that
getting too deep here.
any other or last ones that you could think of that you watched as a kid? No, Candyman,
I never watched that one.
Leprechaun.
Leprechaun was dope. I used to like that one because it showed boobs. Every time, I always felt like every time a movie showed boobs, I'm like, hey, yeah, this
You're
movie's
just
sick. I'm not supposed to be watching this one.
and it was always your parents going like
Yeah.
this, so you're just like, what's going
I'm
on?
like, you wanted to watch this movie, man. Let me watch it.
Well, what was it? What other good ones? Scream.
Scream was cool. Well, Scream was fun. I thought it was. I don't know. Those movies aren't scary to me. It's just they're just fun to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something fun about controlled violence or violence on TV.
What's it called?
Not that I'm weird and not violence in real life sucks, but on TV,
It's enjoyable because
because
it's
no
just
one's getting hurt.
entertainment. Uh, well,
It's
yeah,
for
that's
pretend.
true. It's for pretend, but we all enjoy a good scare. Um, any childhood like Disney movies you remember watching aside from Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town?
Oh yeah, those movies were sick. I love those movies. The cab driver was a skeleton.
Yeah, the cab driver was a skeleton.
Classic.
I mean, yeah, the first one for sure is a
First
big classic.
one.
The second, the
Second one
third,
is when is when the
something.
pumpkin. No wait, the
It's
mayor's
something.
evil, right?
The mayor's
That's the
evil.
second one,
Yeah.
right?
And then he goes to the real world, right? And all the
Something like
they
that.
have
Yeah.
like the Halloween party. People start turning into what they like. I guess are dressed as, so they
Or,
start
oh yeah,
becoming
oh,
monsters.
I gotta rewatch that movie. Damn, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
that
I
it's a
like
good
that
one.
one because that one got spooky in that way where like all the masks that people were
Mm,
wearing, like they started becoming them. I'm like, oh damn, Disney's doing something like this. Casper the Friendly Ghost. I know that one's
Casper was
a good
cool.
Halloween classic right there.
Mhm,
With
mhm.
Christina Ricci,
Oof,
Adam's
Christina Rich.
Family.
She played Wednesday Adams. Yes, she did.
Yeah. And then I know that Netflix is coming out
Oh yeah, her show Wednesday.
With the
I
Wednesday
saw the
show with
preview.
that.
It looks pretty good.
It looks good. I enjoyed it too. And then just seeing that Christina Ricci made an appearance back there again, I'm like, okay. I it looks, and then I do like I can't remember the name right now, but in the movies that I've seen her in, she has been a great actress. I don't know if you got to watch X though with like Brittany Snow, Kid Cudi.
Nope.
No, it's kind
Mm-mm.
of like a slasher horror kind of movie, but she comes out in it, and I think I've seen her in a couple other ones, but um I it's gonna be a good show. I mean, I know another. Well, coming towards the last topics, and this weekend a movie that did drop, Halloween Ends, the last movie to
I'm gonna tell you
whatever
right now.
trilogy
Halloween is
sequel
my favorite franchise of all time. Of all time.
of all time.
God damn it.
So you're gonna watch it? You have any
Yes, of course.
expectation? You have any
I don't have any good.
expectations?
I mean, the
Did
last one.
Did you enjoy Halloween Kills?
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it. It was probably one of the better Halloween movies. No, the 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 Return when they redid it.
Like the first one,
The
right? The
first
first
one
one,
from
the just regular
this trilogy.
Halloween.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how they had like. I don't know, man. That one's doesn't top. I mean, that one tops everything. Obviously, because it's the first one.
That the one? No, that wasn't the one with the sister, right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. All
that's like the very first one.
right. Okay, second one, and then the third. Okay, yeah.
The second one was he. Well, it's like just
Was it the prison? He comes out of prison in the beginning of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then the third one has nothing to do with fucking Halloween at all,
It's
or
just,
with Michael Myers. I mean,
it's just a revenge.
it's like it's not. Halloween 3 was like it wasn't Michael
Oh, you're talking
Myers
about
was
the
the
original three.
originals.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
you're
yeah,
talking about the new
yeah,
trip.
they're
Oh, we
new,
got
yeah,
confused here.
yeah,
Okay,
because you know how right now there's the whole thing of them saying like
the Halloween ends is the
The
end of
Halloween
a yeah.
2 to 3. The first one is like the original, and then it jumps to the newer ones that we're
Mhm.
finishing off right now, and they kind of said that the other ones in between, which like H2O and all of those, don't really count.
Yeah, Halloween Kills is pretty
It
good.
was a good one. They're always entertaining to see, and then I don't know. It's just
I haven't seen this last one,
I haven't either, but I will
so
be
but I'm
watching it.
hearing a lot. I'm hearing mixed stuff about it, which I'm gonna watch it anyways.
Um,
I've watched all of them, so
it's. I mean, everyone always has mixed feelings. Everyone has different opinions.
do you think it's gonna? Do you think Halloween's really gonna end
No, it's not.
forever?
It's never gonna end forever. This guy's never gonna die.
I mean, yeah,
He is pure evil, and he actually
yeah, but where do they?
I feel
But
like he is like
where do
just
they go
literally
from
pure.
here? Though? It's like it's
There, I
you
don't
can't
know. There
like.
isn't.
When's the last
He's
time a
got come
Jason
on. He's
movie
gotten
came out? I think
decapitated.
Jason lived past his
Yeah,
usefulness.
I don't know. I think
I think
it's
we've
just
seen
something
that story.
about
We've
don't.
seen that movie too many times, or I think maybe that's why these kind of franchises are dying down now.
Well, yeah, because you just start losing creativity. Like how much can you expand something for so long without it just kind of dropping?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you get like a good 3, just end it at 3. Some have made it till 5.
No, there's a lot of. I mean,
Cause
that's why I think these kind of movies are gonna slowly fade. I don't know,
uh,
like the original guys. We might get new ones in the future, which what I'm saying. These
yeah, but
guys, they're gonna
yeah,
start.
but that's alright. That's where I feel like I don't know. You guys have a different opinion, but that's I feel what they're lacking with right now, bringing in new characters that aren't something that we've seen already. Like just making remakes,
That's what I think. That's
remastering
why I think all
movies.
these like these
Like,
supernatural movies always do so well because it's easy. Because you can tell a ghost story over and over again. And as far,
well,
if
of
they're
course,
different every time,
could
people
you
are gonna
just
watch.
change the
Yeah, you could just
story?
the
Yeah.
ghost stories never get old because
No,
you
it's
can just do
never.
so much so many things with it, right?
Yeah,
And then this
it's
genre, you kind of have to stick to
it has a
one
very broad
formula.
it has a broad like
You have to
spectrum
stick to
of
one
like what you
formula.
could,
Yeah.
yeah, you could go cold, you could go serial killer, you could go mental, you could go any sort of way with psychological, and it's always going to change because everyone could come up with something different that
Mm.
isn't just following the storyline that should always, kind of be. But Halloween has done a really good job at staying alive. Let's see if this movie gives him or this sister, I forget, I can't think of it, Jane, what's her name?
Just keep going.
No, I got why you got it. Jamie Lee Curtis. You could have saved me here, Adam. That's what I was waiting for, but apparently he is a lost thought as well. But yeah, we'll see how it ends between Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers.
Looking forward
Who
to it.
will win? Will this be the end of Michael Myers, or will we see him again in the future?
I know Michael Myers.
But thank you guys for listening. This is Cut the Film. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys have any opinions, if you guys have any, you know, you guys want us to watch something, you guys want us to break down something, just leave it on the comment below. We'll talk about those things. We'll connect with you guys. Also, just make sure to watch everything else that we have. Sports dogs, Faded Theory, everything that Higher Passion has for you. We're here to entertain. We're here to grab your attention in every aspect of, what human life is and entertainment. And that's what we are doing here. And that's who we are. We're entertainers. But thanks for watching, you guys. Have a good night.
See ya. 40?